Hi, it's Future Aiden here. This video is basically unedited because I wanted you guys to get my raw thoughts on the SH Monster Wrestling. Anyways, enjoy the video.
Hello, people of the internet. This is going to be a different video than what you're used to. This is going to be me talking about current topics. I'm going to be ranting about the SH Monster Arts line because it's a line I've been following ever since I was really young. And I really do love this line. Love. Yes, you heard that right. I love the SH Monster Arts line. I've been following it ever since I was a little kid. I obviously haven't been able to buy all the figures. I was a little kid back then. I didn't have a job. I had no money. And, yeah. But recently, I've been able to pick up the recent figures, including Mechagodzilla, Ghidorah, and, the new Kong here, as well as Final Wars. And I stopped at Final Wars because Mechagodzilla was that big of a disaster. Anyways, let me get to my point here. Basically, SH Monster Arts this line has started with flaws, and it has had flaws. There have been duds, but usually after like one dud, maybe two, we would see them return to being good figures. Look at Godzilla 2014. I think before that, around that same time frame, we had Final Wars Gigan and Heisei Mothra. Heisei Mothra was, it was okay, better than Batra, and Gigan it still is one of the best figures in the line. My point I'm trying to make is, the SH Monster Arts line recently, especially with releases such as Shin Godzilla Night Combat Form, the new King Ghidorah, the reissue, or not the reissue, the repaint of Legendary's Ghidorah, the Godzilla -1, and the Legendary Godzilla Night Combat version, which is the biggest stinker in the line, without a question. That thing is an absolute disaster. What I'm trying to say is, essentially, we have this line that so many people love, and they are absolutely taking advantage of the buyers. If you bought the Night Combat Godzilla 2019, what were you smoking? The thing looked bad. It feels bad. It's the same figure we've had 40 times at this point, basically. Not 40, obviously, but still, we've had this mold so many freaking times at this point. It is ridiculous. They're not good. It's not, okay, it's not like these repaints, the excessive amounts of repaints we have in this line, which obviously, we've had that for years. Going back to, older figures. We've been having repaints in this line for years. Godzilla Emergence, the Heisei Ghidorah had like 2 repaints, or had the poster color one, and a few others in there. That's not the problem. The problem we have nowadays is we have figures that are getting too many repaints. We have too many repaints, number one. That's the biggest problem. Too many repaints. Problem number 2 is that there's not enough new sculpts. He was a new sculpt, and he was really good. He was a new sculpt, and he was good too. These were good figures. They obviously have problems with, like I say, joint tolerances. That was so easy to take off. And I think that's one of my biggest problems with this line, is this is a high-end collectible line, not a toy line. I am way nicer to say Playmates, because they're $10 toys. These are $100 figures, not toys. These are figures. These are collectibles, not toys. Speaking of that, I think Godzilla over here was around 70, 80 bucks. I'm willing to accept 80, max 80. 80 bucks maximum. That's my max price for these things. 80. You start going past $80, we have a problem. He was $90. $90! What? What about this figure is 90 bucks? Absolutely nothing. That is a ripoff. This is another huge problem with this line. The quality is going down. The accessories are going down. None. We are not getting accessories. And the prices are getting absolutely through the roof. You can say inflation and, oh, the cost to manufacture the figure costs so much. No, I don't care. Godzilla Minus One is a $140 figure. That is not a $140 figure. I will not be buying that figure. I would rather sell my soul to Super 7 and buy their figure. Not because I like 8-inch scale, not because I think the sculpt looks better, no, because I'm not paying $140 for that figure. It's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. $140 for the Minus One figure. It's just not worth it. It's not. Their prices are going absolutely through the roof while the quality is going downhill. The paint, the not only the paint apps are not as good as they used to be, and they were never really that good in the first place. I mean, you look at something like the Monster Arts original Destroya, that had terrible teeth problem. King Ghidorah had terrible teeth. Mecha King Ghidorah, all like that, terrible teeth. And I know the line has always had its ups and downs, but back then, they weren't so much money back in the day. Well, I think they started at like 50, 60 bucks. We have jumped so tremendously high that nobody wants to buy them anymore. A lot of people, including myself, really miss NECA at this point in time, because at least with NECA, yeah, it might not be perfect. I've had my share of experiences with NECA. It was not perfect, but you're still getting a decent figure that was only like 20 or 30 bucks, not 100. The new Gigan I want to mention too. I do not have any words. That thing could be the greatest Gigan figure of all time. I would never buy it. Number one, yes, I like Gigan, but number one, it's the Monster Arts. It's Monster Arts, and the price is ridiculous. Number two, the paint probably sucks. I haven't seen it that much. I know it exists. I haven't seen in-hand photos of it, but I would bet all my money the paint sucks. The joint tolerance quality probably sucks as well. So I'm just not gonna buy it. And I know, it's in the consumer. The consumer can yell. The only reason I'm making this video now is because I'm pretty sure everyone has the same opinion now. Not everyone, but I would argue a lot of people probably feel the same way I do about this line. I love this line, but another piece of evidence I have is nobody is buying the SH Monster Arts King Ghidorah or the SH Monster Arts Mechagodzilla 2021 because Hiya Toys beat them. Yes, Hiya Toys hasn't even made a Mechagodzilla yet, and they already beat Tamashii Nations and Bandai. How sad is that? The Ghidorah isn't even out yet for most people, because most people are going to be buying on Big Bad, and it's already beaten Bandai's. How sad is that? How sad is it that Hiya Toys, a newcomer in the Godzilla scene, was able to absolutely tank Bandai and Tamashii Nations, who have been in this for over a decade, who have been in the kaiju game for over a decade. How is it that Hiya Toys was able to engineer a Godzilla figure that was more movie accurate than that? A damn near $100 Godzilla figure. Yes, it's a very impressive figure that he can look all the way up like that, and his articulation is great, but the sculpt isn't 100% accurate. Kong isn't either. Final Wars isn't either. It's just such a shame. that this line that I used to love and I used to look up to as the gold standard for Godzilla figures has dipped down so far. Yet again, here's a picture of the Night Combat legendary figure. I think I made my point here. I don't want this going on for too long. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!